What's up, everybody? My name is Kason. Welcome back to the PPL NX. This is game number 4 of our 5-game gauntlet, and we are facing off against Incog, coach of Backs to the Future. They have a very scary team with a core of Iron Hands, Tinglu, and Latias. If that sounds like a familiar core, it's because I've used it in the SPDA and I know how strong it can be. They also have another monster tank with Pecharunt and another Pokemon in Volcanion and Vaporeon who both get water absorbed. So getting through this team is going to be tough because they just have crazy amounts of bulk on it. Paired along with the fact that they have Shed Tail on Sceptile, which normally is a banned move in Draft League, but is allowed in this league, this team can be very, very threatening. So in order to beat this team, we're going to go with our lead Pokemon, Marjorie the Gardevoir. This is the first time we are using it this season, and we're leading with the Expert Belt and Trace ability. Moonblast, Psychic, Thunderbolt, and Vacuum Wave should hit pretty much the entire team on the other side very, very hard. We're running a Modest Nature because this is a very bulky team, but not a very fast one. Honestly, there's almost nothing that can switch into this thing, so I think it'll put in a lot of work right out of the gate. Our second Pokemon that we're bringing this week is Khaleesi, our Haxorus, with Outrage, Earthquake, Low Kick, Dragon Dance, and the Mold Breaker ability here. With 224 attack into an Adamant Nature, 204 HP, and 80 speed, this thing can be very, very threatening. After one Dragon Dance, it threatens to kill pretty much everything except for the Tinglu and the Pecharunt. The third mon is going to be a pretty bulky mon here with ZAPDOS, 252 HP, Bold Nature, 192 defense, 56 special attack, and 8 speed, just to creep something that's trying to creep min speed ZAPDOS. Hurricane, Heat Wave, Volt Switch, and Roost covers pretty much everything on the roster, and I think he's going to have a hard time killing this Pokemon. I want to be able to set some hazards on the other side potentially, so we do have spikes on our Brienne, the Fortress, paired alongside Body Press, Volt Switch, and Thunder Wave. Now, this is a max defense version. I do think this can work pretty well into something like the Tinglu, which can be a hard mon to get rid of. Ultimately, just either getting a layer of spikes up, Thunder Waving something, or just body pressing into most of the team can be pretty effective. But with him running so much bulk on his roster, I've got to bring some of my own bulk, so we are bringing the Hound, our Umbreon. Foul Play, Toxic, Wish, and Protect. This is probably the most default Umbreon set you can find, but it's very good into his roster as he is really going to struggle to get rid of this thing. If I see Iron Hands, it's hands on sight, because getting rid of that thing is massive to allow Umbreon to basically just survive as long as possible. Without Iron Hands, he's going to have a very difficult time getting rid of this Pokemon. And last but not least, we have a very fancy Cinderace here. We have Oberon rocking 140 attack, 140 special attack, and 224 into speed. So this is a mixed set with Pyro Ball, Low Kick, Shadow Ball, and Court Change. Court Change here just to switch over any hazards he may set up with the Tinglu. Shadow Ball is here to hit the Pecharunt. So if we Pyro Ball first and Pecharunt swapped in to try and take that hit, Shadow Ball can do a ton of damage to it. So ultimately, guys, this is the full roster that we are bringing into Incog. It should be a hell of a fun game. Best of luck to him. Let's jump into the fight. All right, so they have Vaporeon, Pecharunt, Titan, Tinglu, Sceptile, and Iron Hands. No Latias is pretty nice. I'll be honest, the Sceptile is surprising. It does get Shed Tail in this league. So I think that's probably why he's bringing it. I think Shed Tail into Belly Drum so Titan could be spooky, but I'm going to lead Marjorie here. This was my plan from the start. I just want to go Expert Belt and just start dealing a bunch of damage. And then we'll kind of go from there, because honestly, he doesn't have good switch into this thing, and he shouldn't really one-shot us with anything that's faster than us. He could one-shot us with like a Heavy Slam from Iron Hands. Pecharunt might be able to do a lot of damage to us, but I don't think it Okos. We'll see. Best of luck to Incog, and should be a good fight. I like the helmet on his character here. Sends in Hercules. So unless this is a Choice Scarf Iron Hands, excuse me, we will go first. We won't necessarily kill, but we're going to do a ton, and so I'm clicking Moonblast here. This was my plan. Lead with Gardevoir and just hit really hard. He's got too many fat mons on his team. Hands, Tinglu, Pecharunt. His team is insanely bulky, so I need to just deal damage. And if he lives and goes for an Iron or Heavy Slam, then so be it. But we should get this thing down to pretty much 0 HP in the process. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see if he wants to take this damage from Marjorie here. We are not Choice Specs, we're Expert Belt, so we'll see how it goes. He's thinking hard about this. And he stays in, so Moonblast should do a ton of damage. Just barely doesn't kill. Oh man, that would have been nice to pick up that kill. He does have the Heavy Slam. This is going to take us out. So we are going to die, but Iron Hands is basically dead, so honestly, I think that's kind of worth. Shout out to Marjorie. Yeah, she didn't last very long, but she did a lot of damage. Who do I want to revenge with? I'm going to go into Haxorus here. I could revenge with a few different mons. ZAPDOS probably would have been one. that I could just Volt Switch out, but I kind of want to get Haxorus in here, and I kind of want to go for a Dragon Dance. Because from what I'm seeing, he shouldn't kill me with anything, and at +1, we're kind of going crazy. I don't know if he wants to let me do that. I know this looks insane. Yeah, I mean, he shouldn't kill me with any one hit. This might be super greedy, but honestly, like, Haxorus just kind of goes crazy into the team. He swaps. Awesome. So he goes into Petron. And now I'm looking like a freaking genius on this Dragon Dance here. This was actually really greedy. I wasn't even thinking, we have Life Orb, so this Dragon Dance was probably not a good play. But we're +1, and now this guy can't one-shot us either. +1 EQ, we do not kill, but +2 is potentially a kill. So I think I just go to +2. I don't know why we wouldn't. The fact that he swapped this thing in makes me think he's like weakness policy. So I kind of want to just get to +2. I mean, unless I'm missing something, this guy can't kill me with anything. He could potentially confuse us and poison us, but if I get this up, I think we can just sweep. I know that sounds crazy, but like I think we can legitimately just sweep. Like from pretty much from rip. Yeah, I'm gonna go for a second Dragon Dance. I don't know, maybe this is way too early to be doing this with Haxorus, but I'm just feeling it today, so let's run it. Let's see what happens. He has foul play. How the hell did I miss that in prep? How the hell did I miss that? Life Orb, we will live 1 hit, so we're gonna get 2 attacks. And from what I'm seeing, like, even at +2, Petron is insanely bulky. It could potentially live either hit here. If it's not max Fizdef, either one of these kills, so I'll just Outrage so I make sure not to proc weakness policy. I should have EQ'd, I guess. EQ would have killed here. Well, whatever. I mean, at this point, Iron Hands and Petron have both gotten a kill, but they're both at like 10 HP. So they're basically as good as dead, and he is leftovers. Or Black Sludge. I should have Earthquaked. I might have been able to pick up a second kill. I don't know if that was a good move. But what I will say is that 2 of these Mega Tanks are already down to basically no HP. And that was one of the things that I wanted to try and accomplish here. Because it allows Cinderace and ZAPDOS to kind of go nuts. So yeah, Tinglu is the only like big tank remaining. So I think I'll go Zapdos here. I should be able to freely claim a kill. Volt Switch feels pretty free. If he goes into Tinglu, I can always just like Hurricane or something after. But this should be a free kill on Volt Switch. Unless he really wants to save this thing, but I don't think he wants to do that. Volt Switch is going to pick up this kill. Petron's going to go down. We'll pivot out. So the hyper aggression playstyle, we're basically just like trading KOs. Because basically there's like 4 mons dead already in the first few turns. But that's fine. That's kind of what I wanted. Like I said, I want these tanks out of the way so that there's nothing to stand in the way of Oberon here. And I think this is a pretty safe... I think Oberon's pretty safe here. The other thing too is with Iron Hands so low and out of the way, Umbreon is really hard to get rid of. Like, it's really hard for him to kill Umbreon. He goes into Vape Nation. That is a hilarious nickname. I love that. Vape Nation. I definitely don't want to stay in on this, so I think I just go into my Umbreon. I can always get, like, a Toxic off. Basically can just sit in front of this thing. The only thing I'm afraid of is it Wish Passing into something. But it just protects, which is great. So, this must be lefties, I would assume. It's probably just Wish Baton Pass, or Wish Flip Turn, protect something. I will Toxic. The Petront is dead. If the Iron Hands comes in, I think it's literally so low that would die to a Toxic turn. So I think Toxic's pretty free here. And if for some reason he goes into like Tinglu, that's really, really massive for me. Like, unless he gets a Belly Drum to Titan up, I don't know how he kills my Umbreon. Like, Vaporeon's not going to kill this thing. He's going to have a tough time killing it. Vaporeon, Sceptile, Titan, and goes for the Scald. Oh, wait, please. Oh, shit. That sucks. That really sucks because we have Synchronize, which means we don't get the Toxic off on Vaporeon. So because they burned us, we get the burn. That really sucks. I would much prefer a Toxic on Vaporeon than burn because the damage stacks over time. That's a little tragic. A little unlucky, but that's okay. Leftover's going to get a little recovery. And are they leftovers? Actually, leftovers goes first, so we won't be able to confirm that, but I think they probably are. Just based off of the moves they've used. And now I guess I'll just throw up a Wish in the air. And he's going to withdraw. So no Flip Turn or anything like that. He just hard swaps, interestingly enough. Going to Skips, I think that's something new. That is the Sceptile. So I got to wish. And now I am really wishing that I brought Roar. I probably should have, because this thing is probably going to click Shed Tail and I can't really stop it. However, we do have... I think we have Snarl, which can actually go behind a substitute. But it's not going to do a ton of damage. So I think... Fortunately, Fortress answers the Titan pretty well. So I'm not, like, hyper concerned. But I think that's probably his target, right? He could also Shed Tail into Iron Hands to kind of give it a second life, because if it's behind a sub, it could live for a little while. Like, he's definitely going to click Shed Tail here, right? What do I want to be in? I think I just will go ZAPDOS, I guess. I don't know. If he Shed Tails into Titan, I don't know that I really want to be in, but I think we could still live a hit. And we could at least pop the sub if he goes for Belly Drum. He does Shed Tail, okay. So he's going to lose half of his HP. Is he Citrus? I don't think so. I think it would have popped right there. I'm actually not sure how that interaction works, if it pops there or when he comes back in. I think it would be right there. But my guess is this is Titan, especially because ZAPDOS is in. If it's Hands, that's perfectly fine. And ZAPDOS is a good mon to be in against it, I think. He goes into CTE. I don't know who that is. Okay, that is Titan. And now... Does Volt Switch break sub? I think Volt Switch should break sub. And then if it goes for Belly Drum, I can get out into Fortress. I think that's my play. This should break it, I believe. He's got a lot of HP, but he doesn't have crazy special defense. Yes, it did fade. So is it the Belly Drum? If it is, Fortress is sitting totally fine. And if it's not, it will just eat whatever hit it goes for. So yeah, we'll go Fortress here. Lady Brienne. Is it the Belly Drum? It is not. It's Ice Spinner. Okay, well, that is best case scenario for me. That does basically nothing, and now that 50% of HP for Sceptile is kind of useless. I think I just Body Press here, right? Because a Body Press should do a ton of damage to this Titan. I'm really curious as to what the thought process was there. I really thought Belly Drum with, like, Ice Shard was coming. And because at +6, like Earthquake, he can actually do a good bit of damage to Fortress, but I'm not sure what the thought was there. That Shed Tail really didn't get much for him, which I'm pretty happy about. Because he can't really do it again, unless he is Citrus and it just hasn't popped yet. But that is the Hands, so he is sacking Iron Hands here. So maybe he was hoping I went for Hazards and that he could get a kill, but I'm not going to allow that to happen. Fortress is going to pick up his first kill. So Iron Hands is down for the count. And now he has a full HP Burnt Vaporeon. Half health Sceptile. He has a fully healthy Titan, and he has a fully healthy Ting Lu. So getting rid of the Ting Lu can be tough, but honestly, I think we're in a pretty decent spot. Like I said, I think it's just really hard for him to get rid of my Umbreon. So that can be like a defensive win condition for me. It's obviously burnt, which is annoying, but could be worse. And he goes back into Vape Nation. All right. So I think we would live a Scald. Do I want to... I could go into Umbreon to stall it out, but I could also just go into ZAPDOS to put on a lot of offensive pressure. I think I'm going to go Umbreon here. Yeah. So we'll go Umbreon. And it's going to go for a Scald, so that's fine. We're going to eat that hit. Like, it's nothing. Take like 63, I think. And it is lefties, so we do confirm this now. That's kind of what I thought. I think it's probably like Wish, Flip, Turn, Scald, and Protect. That's probably the full set, if I had to guess. And now we should just get a free Wish up again. And what does he try to threaten us with? Because he really doesn't have a whole lot. Like, does he try and go into Ting Lu? He doesn't want to take a Toxic as the thing. I think I'm going to go ZAPDOS here. Because this is the thing that really threatens this Vaporeon. And once Vaporeon is out of the way, I think Umbreon can kind of just win. Because I think it can just kind of Toxic stall everything else out if it wants. But obviously the burn on Vaporeon is making it so I can't do that, unfortunately. So ZAPDOS comes in. Goes for Alluring Voice. Okay, that's interesting. So that would have done more than Scald, but not a ton more. Now, do I want to Volt Switch or do I want to just Hurricane, predicting the Ting Lu to come in? I kind of want to Hurricane. He's going to go Ting Lu, right? He's not going to let me Volt Switch. Oh, he protects. Okay. So I guess he's just scouting. But, yeah, I mean, that's fine. Do I follow up with the same move now? Or do I switch it up? I mean, that Protect really doesn't do him anything because the Burn basically negates the leftovers anyway. So I guess it just helps him, give him a turn of like knowing what I'm going for. So maybe I Volt Switch now. He thinks he's safe. I feel like as soon as I click Volt Switch, he's going to go into Ting Lu. We'll see what he does. But if he brings in Ting Lu, I can always Hurricane after. So not the end of the world. So he's going to withdraw. I assume this is the Ting Lu. B for soup. Bowling for soup. Yeah, that's definitely Ting Lu. Very nice. And now I am wishing I had clicked Hurricane again, but what are you going to do? So he comes in, and now I think I just need to get chip on this thing. I just need to slowly whittle it down. At the same time, I could go Fortress because I always pressure potentially like a Rapid Spin, even though I don't actually have it this time. I just have Court Change. I'll just Hurricane and just get a chunk. We do land it, which is nice. That is a bulky mother effer. Holy cow. Ruination does quite a bit. Now the question is, if I roost any Earthquakes, how much damage does it do to me? We would live it. We would take more than we heal, but by roosting, I can at least scout for it, and he has to make the play right. He has to read the play right in order to punish me for that, so we'll see what he does. I think he probably will click EQ here. We'll see. From what I'm seeing, it shouldn't do a lot more than our roost does. We're at 152. So if he EQs, what do we end up at? Hopefully he doesn't. He does, though. He makes the right read. 116. So basically a net of negative 36 there, and he gets leftovers recovery. So he doesn't really have a reason not to do that. Does he have Stone Edge? I can't really mess around with this, I think, because I think I might need Zapdos for Vaporeon. I don't know that he would predict me to roost again, because it feels pretty obvious, right? Like, he knows it's not a good play for me, but I'm gonna go Fortress here, because I do pressure with Body Press. Can at least do a chunk of damage to this thing. We know it's not weakness policy because it's leftovers, so he's going to go for Stealth Rock. And he doesn't know that we don't have Rapid Spin is the thing, right? So he may not want to try and stack hazards against us. He may just try and click Ruination here because we threaten being able to get rid of him. Do I want to go for my own spikes? Or do I want to just see if he sets them for me and then I can core change them? I'm going to Body Press. I'm going to Body Press and then see if I can Court Change later if needed. So he lands the Ruination, does a good chunk of damage. Body Press actually doing a sizable amount. Fortress putting in the work here. Let's go, Brienne. Another one puts him in a dangerous spot for sure. And the thing is, Cinderace pressures it quite a bit with Low Kick. Does go for the Earthquake. We shake that off. We can actually take another one, I think. Body Press does a good chunk. I'm actually surprised he's letting me do this because his Ting Lu is kind of a problem. But I will take this all day. Even if he kills us and we just get it low, this is a really good trade for us. I think he probably wants to take it out so we can't Rapid Spin, but we don't have Rapid Spin. This Body Press is my freest click of all time, I think. Yeah, we'll Body Press again. We should live this EQ, I think. Fortress so clutch. Let's go. Body Press does a ton of damage. We don't take it out, but honestly, that is perfectly fine. So at this point, Petulant, Iron Hands, and Ting Lu are all super low. He definitely does. He has Vaporeon, who is also a tank. This team is just full of tanks. But we've gotten rid of 3 of them already. I think we're in a decent spot here. Vaporeon, he's going to land the kill. Vaporeon cannot deal with Umbreon, especially because we have Snarl and can lower its special attack. And that's really the only mon standing in the way of Cinderace winning the game. So now here, I think... Do I want to go into Zapdos and Hurricane to kill? I actually don't even know if Hurricane kills. I'm going to go into Oberon here, I think. Yeah, I'll go Oberon. We will take a hazard, some hazard chip, which is not great. But we'll deal with it. So we take a good bit of rocks damage, and now I think I just low kick. Pyro Ball should claim the kill here, but I don't want to miss. And if Titan for some reason switches in, it will just die to this low kick. Because even if it's thick fat, Pyro Ball won't do nearly as much, but low kick will. It's 120 base, so we'll low kick. And if for whatever crazy reason he goes Titan, then we'll claim a kill. But I think Cinderace beats 3 out of the 4 mons remaining. We just have to get rid of Vaporeon for Cinderace to win. And he does stay in, that's fine. So low kick's going to claim a kill. So Bowling for Soup is down. Oberon's going to get one. And now we are the fighting type. We do get Life Orb chip and there's rocks up, so that's not ideal. And he goes back into Titan. I'm not sure why he went here. Is he trying to just like make... Is he going to switch into Vaporeon and just make me waste my HP with Life Orb? I mean, I'm going to low kick. If for some reason he stays in, then like... What? I don't know what that play was. I'm really not sure what just happened. I don't know why he's... I don't know. He just gave me Titan for free. I really don't know why he just did that. We could have been in a little bit of a tricky spot, to be honest. But now Titan is gone, and now we're in a really good spot, I think. I really don't know what that play was. He's been playing pretty well, I think, all game, but I'm not sure about that one. Unless he didn't see that we were Life Orb and like thinks that he lives it. But he's got half health Sceptile. And he does go into Vaporeon now. So now at this point, like, do I just court change to put the hazards on his side? That way I can come in on a rock switch later, and then ZAPDOS also doesn't die to rocks. I think that's my play. Yeah, I think my play is just a court change. Put the hazards on his side now. Because this way, if he doesn't kill me with Scald, I can potentially swap out the Cinderace and come back in later if this doesn't kill. Which it doesn't, because we are the fire type, or normal type now. Which is lovely. And now I think I can actually save my Cinderace. Now I think I can go into Umbreon. What am I talking about? We're not the normal type. We're fighting type, but we still resist Scald. Anyway, my brain for a moment there, but whatever. So now we go into Umbreon, and I don't think he can ever kill us. Even with Alluring Voice, I don't know what he can do. He would have to be like Calm Mind, but I don't think he is. We've seen his moveset basically already. I'm pretty sure he's just Wish, Flip, Turn, Scald, and... Or no, he's Alluring Voice. So Protect, Scald, Alluring Voice... Wish? Or Flip Turn? I'm not sure. We've seen 3 out of the 4 moves, I guess. But now I will Wish. And I might even be able to get this Wish into ZAPDOS, actually. I think this one I want to heal myself. But then after that, I can potentially get a Wish on ZAPDOS. And if I heal that thing back up, we're in a really, really good spot. Because Sceptile can't touch it. It crushes Vaporeon. Yeah, if we heal up here and then heal ZAPDOS up, then I think we win the game. And I think we just close it out there. So I'll Protect here just in case, because if he like crits me on a Scald and I die somehow or something, that'll be really upsetting. As he does just go for another Scald, so that's fine. So we're going to heal a ton. This is a weird game. I feel like the start of it was super high octane, hyper offense, just I'm clicking buttons, and then the end game is... You can't beat Umbreon because you don't have enough offense. So, yeah. Trying to outstall the stall team. With Iron Hands, Tinglu, Vaporeon, Pecharunt. That is a lot of HP. But Umbreon's standing strong here. So, Burn is going to happen, and now I think we Wish. And then... I'll have to Calc, but I think we can go into ZAPDOS. Alright, I need to calc this now. We don't need to switch in. I can lower his special attack so that I guarantee we live the Scald. Because right now, I'm not 100% confident that we do. But I can lower his special attack with Snarl, then put another Wish in the air, and then go back into ZAPDOS. Oh, big crit. That crit definitely wasn't really a thing. Didn't really do much there. So it's now -1. And we are at 116 HP. So now I don't even need to Wish because I can Roost. I'm just going to swap in. Because at the end of the day, all that matters is as long as he doesn't crit us, he doesn't kill us. So I can go into ZAPDOS and Roost all the way back up. So please, please, please tell me you don't crit. And he goes for Wish, so it doesn't even matter. Wonderful. I was going to say I'm pretty sure it wouldn't have mattered because like he has to crit to kill us there. Because we have him at -1 special attack. So yeah, he's Wish, Protect, Scald, Alluring. I'm going to Roost all the way back up. I don't really have a reason not to. This thing's at -1, it can't really threaten us. And he might swap out here, potentially. Maybe go into his Sceptile. But his Sceptile doesn't really do anything. And at this point, I think ZAPDOS beats both of these mons easily. The only slightly annoying thing is that my electric attack is Volt Switch, so I may have to, like, if it doesn't kill Vaporeon, I might have to pivot out into something and then come back into ZAPDOS. But at the end of the day, I think that's just delaying the inevitable. I don't think it actually really matters. Ideally, if I can get rid of Sceptile... Okay, he protects. Okay. That's fair. I'm not really sure why he protected there. I guess just to heal himself back up. Maybe he didn't want to risk the Sceptile, but Sceptile doesn't really do anything for him anyway. At this point, like, he's just trying to survive, but I don't think there's any world where he does. So now, do I Hurricane into Volt? Because if he goes Sceptile, Hurricane will kill it. If he doesn't, Hurricane into Volt Switch, I think should kill. So he does withdraw. So if this lands, Sceptile is dead. And then we just have to deal with the Vaporeon. So it does take a chunk. There's no Citrus Berry or anything. Hurricane's going to land. Sceptile's going to be gone. And now this should be an easy dub from here. I don't think there's anything he can do. I can Volt Switch, go back into Umbreon. I mean, he can try to just delay forever, if depending on how much Volt Switch does. But I don't know. I don't think it matters. Hopefully he doesn't do that, because he can't win. I think he knows that. I will Volt Switch. I'm not sure if this Volt Switch kills. I don't think it does. It does a good chunk, but it doesn't kill. Hopefully he doesn't just stall this out with Wish Protect. But if he does, I will just go in and click Snarl a bunch or whatever. So. He's going to Scald. So thankfully he goes for Scald instead of Wish, so he's not going to try and drag it out. So very good. So awesome to see. Shout out to Incog. This was a fun game. It was kind of a weird one. Sorry, I feel like my head is just like not in it today. So the start of the battle was really weird. I feel like I was just clicking buttons. But at the end of the day, we ended up picking up a win, which is really awesome. His team actually was really terrifying to prep for, honestly. The funny thing is, like, I feel like I've played this team before, or like not played it, but I know it because as he's going to Alluring Voice, I'm just going to Snarl. I feel like I've played this team before because this is very similar to my SPDA team. I had Latias, Tinglu, and Iron Hands, and he has those three on this team too. But he has a freaking Pecharunt, so yeah, it makes it tricky. So it's going to take forever to kill this with Snarl. So I did one, but now I think I just go into ZAPDOS. And hopefully he doesn't Wish Protect. I think he's giving me this win, but it's just taking forever because of leftovers and burn. So I will go back into Jon Snow and pray that he just lets me have this here and doesn't drag it out. As he does go for Alluring Voice, so wonderful. He does not Wish. Thank you, Incog, for not dragging this out. I really do appreciate it. Was an awesome game, honestly, but it looks like I think we're going to pick up a 3-0 win. So really, really awesome to see. And yeah, see how the rest of the battles go, but Volt Switch should claim this. This should be over. ZAPDOS going to claim another kill. Honestly, ZAPDOS put in a lot of work at the end. Umbreon with the Snarl was actually really clutch to make sure that we wouldn't die to Scald. He didn't end up going for Scald anyway, but I think that was a really good play and gave us the win there. So anyway, super fun game. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, you guys have a wonderful day.